Who is he? What do you know about him? What are the stages of Prince Harry's life and the secret of the people's love for him? And today we're diving into some exciting royal news. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, has announced that he's working on a memoir. This is big news in the world of the British royal family, and we're here to give you all the details. But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest updates. Now, let's jump into it. Part 2. In the same month, it was reported that Harry was top of his class in extensive training undertaken at the Naval Air Facility, El Centro, California. While training in Southern California, he spent time in San Diego. In November 2011, Harry returned to England. He went to Wadisham Airfield in Suffolk, in the east of England, to complete his training to fly Apache helicopters. On the 7th of September 2012, Harry arrived at Camp Bastion in southern Afghanistan as part of the 100-strong 662 Squadron 3 Regiment, Army Air Corps, to begin a 4-month combat tour as a co-pilot and gunner for an Apache helicopter. On the 10th of September, within days of arriving in Afghanistan, it was reported that the Taliban had threatened his life. On the 18th of September 2012, it was reported that Harry had been moved to a safe location after an attack by the Taliban on Camp Bastion that killed 2 U.S. Marines. Defense Secretary Philip Hammond stated that additional security arrangements were put in place, for Harry could be a potential target, but added that he would face the same risk as any other Apache pilot. In files obtained on the incident, Major General Gregor Sturtevant was quoted as saying, "The night of the attack, he slept through the entire thing. We didn't do anything special for him. He came and went, and you never would have known he was there, and the only thing special we did for him was we had a place identified as a safe house in case the base came under attack." On the 21st of January 2013, it was announced that Harry was returning from a 20-week deployment in Afghanistan. On the 8th of July 2013, the Ministry of Defense announced that Harry had successfully qualified as an Apache aircraft commander. Harry compared operating the Apache's weapons systems in Afghanistan to playing video games. Harry later revealed in his 2023 memoir Spare that he flew on 6 missions that resulted in him killing 25 Taliban members, writing that he felt he was trained to not view them as people but instead as chess pieces that had been taken off the board. He added that "It's not a number that gave me any satisfaction, but neither was it a number that made me feel ashamed." Following the publishing of Harry's claims, Pen Farthing, a British former Royal Marines commando and founder of the Nosed Dogs charity, was evacuated from Kabul on the 6th of January 2023 to avoid potential reprisal attacks on ex-forces people. Harry's revelations prompted backlash from both Taliban members and British politicians and military figures. On the 17th of January 2014, the Ministry of Defense announced that Harry had completed his attachment to 3 Regiment Army Air Corps and would take up a staff officer role, SO3 in HQ London District. His responsibilities would include helping to coordinate significant projects and commemorative events involving the Army in London. He was based at Horse Guards in central London. On the 6th of March 2014, Harry launched Invictus Games, a Paralympic-style sporting event for injured servicemen and women, which was held on the 14th of September 2014. Harry met British hopefuls for the Invictus Games at Tedworth House in Wiltshire for the start of the selection process on the 29th of April 2014. On the 15th of May 2014, Harry attended a ticket sale launch for Invictus Games at BT Tower, from where he tweeted on the Invictus Games official Twitter account as the president of the Games. To promote the Games, he was interviewed by BBC Radio 2's Chris Evans along with 2 Invictus Games hopefuls. He said, "The Invictus Games is basically my full-time job at the moment, making sure that we pull this off." The show aired on the 31st of July 2014. Harry later wrote an article in the Sunday Times about his experiences in Afghanistan, how they had inspired him to help injured personnel, and how, after the trip to the Warrior Games, he had vowed to create the Invictus Games. Harry and officials attended the British Armed Forces team announcement for Invictus Games at Potters Field Park in August 2014. As president of the Invictus Games, he attended all events related to the Games from 8 to the 14th of September 2014. In January 2015, it was reported that Harry would take on a new role in supporting wounded service personnel by working alongside members of the London District's Personal Recovery Unit for the MOD's Defence Recovery Capability Scheme to ensure that wounded personnel have adequate recovery plans. The Palace confirmed weeks later that the scheme was established in partnership with Help for Heroes and the Royal British Legion. In late January 2015, Harry visited the Battleback Centre set up by the Royal British Legion and Fisher House UK at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Birmingham. A partnership between Help for Heroes, the Fisher House Foundation, and the Queen Elizabeth Hospital Birmingham charity created the center. Fisher House Foundation is one of the Invictus Games sponsors. In February and March 2015, Harry visited Phoenix House in Catterick Garrison, North Yorkshire, a recovery center run by Help for Heroes. He also visited Merville Barracks in Colchester, where Chavas VC House Personnel Recovery Center is located, run by Help for Heroes in partnership with the Ministry of Defence and Royal British Legion. On the 17th of March 2015, Kensington Palace announced that Harry would leave the armed forces in June. Before then, he would spend 4 weeks throughout April and May at Army Barracks in Darwin, Perth and Sydney whilst seconded to the Australian Defence Force. After leaving the Army, while considering his future, he would return to work in a voluntary capacity with the Ministry of Defence, supporting case officers in the ministry's Recovery Capability Program. He would be working with both those who administer and receive physical and mental care within the London District area. On the 6th of April 2015, Harry reported for duty to Australia's Chief of the Defence Force, Air Chief Marshal Mark Binskin at the Royal Military College, Duntroon in Canberra, Australia. Harry flew to Darwin later that day to begin his month-long secondment to the ADF's 1st Brigade. His visit included detachments to NORFORCE as well as to an aviation unit. While in Perth, he trained with Special Air Service Regiment, participating in the SASR selection course, including a fitness test and a physical training session with SASR selection candidates. He also joined SASR members in Perth for live-fire shooting exercises with numerous Special Forces weapons at a variety of ranges. Harry completed an insertion training exercise using a rigid-hull inflatable boat. In Sydney, he undertook urban operations training with the 2nd Commando Regiment. Training activities included remotely detonating an improvised explosive device and rappelling from a building. He also spent time flying over Sydney as co-pilot of an Army Black Hawk helicopter and participated in counter-terrorism training in Sydney Harbour with Royal Australian Navy clearance divers. Harry's attachment with the ADF ended on the 8th of May 2015, and on the 19th of June 2015 he resigned his short service commission. In 2021, Harry described his 10 years in the Army as the happiest times in my life. Since leaving the Army, he has been closely involved with the armed forces through the Invictus Games, honorary military appointments, and other official engagements. On the 19th of December 2017, he succeeded his grandfather Prince Philip as the Captain General Royal Marines. In May 2018, he was promoted to the substantive ranks of Lieutenant Commander of the Royal Navy, Major of the British Army, and Squadron Leader of the Royal Air Force. On the 18th of January 2020, Buckingham Palace announced that an agreement had been reached for Harry to step back from royal duties, including official military appointments. In February 2021, the palace confirmed that the Duke would give up his position as Captain General Royal Marines and hand back all the other honorary military appointments. Chelsea Davy, the daughter of Zimbabwean, South Africa-based businessman Charles Davy, was referred to as Harry's girlfriend in an interview conducted for his 21st birthday. And Harry said he would love to tell everyone how amazing she is, but once I start talking about that, I have left myself open. There is truth and there is lies, and unfortunately I cannot get the truth across. Davy was present when Harry received his Operational Service Medal for Afghanistan and also attended his graduation ceremony, when he received his flying wings from his father. In early 2009, it was reported the pair had parted ways after a relationship that had lasted for 5 years. In his 2023 memoir, Harry states that months after breaking up with Davy, he was introduced to Caroline Flack, whom he described as funny, sweet, and cool. The two saw each other for a while before press intrusion tainted their relationship irredeemably, according to Harry. Flack had discussed the relationship in her own autobiography as well. In May 2012, Harry's cousin Princess Eugenie introduced him to Cressida Bona, an actress and model who is the granddaughter of Edward Curzon, 6th Earl Howe. On the 30th of April 2014, it was reported that the couple had parted amicably. In mid-2016, Prince Harry began a relationship with American actress Meghan Markle. According to the couple, they first connected with each other via Instagram, though they have also said that they were set up on a blind date by a mutual friend in July 2016. On the 8th of November, 8 days after the relationship was made public by the press, the prince directed his communications secretary to release a statement on his behalf to express personal concern about pejorative and false comments made about his girlfriend by mainstream media and internet trolls. In September 2017, Prince Harry and Markle first appeared together in public at the Invictus Games in Toronto. Their engagement was announced on the 27th of November 2017 by Harry's father, Prince Charles. The announcement prompted generally positive comments about having a mixed-race person as a member of the royal family, especially in regard to Commonwealth countries with populations of blended or native ancestry. On the 19th of May 2018, the marriage ceremony was held at St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle. The couple later revealed in the 2021 television interview Oprah with Meghan and Harry that, 3 days prior to the ceremony, they had privately exchanged vows in their garden, in the presence of the Archbishop of Canterbury. However, this earlier exchange of vows was not an official religious or legally recognized marriage. The Duke and Duchess initially lived at Nottingham Cottage in London, on the grounds of Kensington Palace. In May 2018, it was reported that they had signed a 2-year lease on Westfield Large, located on the Great Two estate in the Cotswolds. They gave up the lease after photos of the house and its interior were published by a paparazzi agency. The couple considered settling at the 21-room apartment one within the grounds of Kensington Palace, but moved to Frogmore Cottage in the home park of Windsor Castle instead. The Crown Estate refurbished the cottage at a cost of £2.4 million, paid out of the sovereign grant, with the Duke later reimbursing expenses beyond restoration and ordinary maintenance, a part of which was offset against rental payments that were due at the time. On the 6th of May 2019, the Duke and Duchess's son, Archie, was born. Their office was moved to Buckingham Palace and officially closed on the 31st of March 2020 when the Sussexes ceased undertaking official engagements in support of the Queen. After some months in Canada and the United States, the couple bought a house in June 2020 on the former estate of Riven Rock in Montecito, California. The next month, the Duchess suffered a miscarriage. On the 4th of June 2021, their daughter, Lilibet, was born. The Duke and Duchess own a Labrador named Pulla and 2 beagles named Guy and Mamma Mia. Harry is godfather to 5 or 6 children. In May 1988, Harry underwent a surgery for a minor hernia. In November 2000, he broke his thumb while playing football at Eton and underwent a minor operation. In his memoir, Spare, Harry admits that he took cocaine at the age of 17. In 2002, it was reported that, with Charles's encouragement, Harry had paid a visit to a drug rehabilitation unit to talk to drug addicts after it had emerged that he had been smoking cannabis and drinking at his father's Highgrove house and at a local pub in the summer of 2001. He adds in his memoir that he smoked cannabis at Eton and in Kensington Palace Gardens, but he later told a court that he never smoked in father's house. In the memoir, he also detailed taking magic mushrooms at a party at Courtney Cox's house in January 2016. In 2017 and during an appearance on Brian E. Gordon's podcast Mad World, Harry acknowledged that with the support of his brother he had sought counseling years after his mother's death. He added that he had struggled with aggression, had suffered from anxiety during royal engagements, and had been very close to a complete breakdown on numerous occasions. He later added that he had taken up boxing as a way of coping with mental stress and letting out aggression. In other interviews he stated that besides therapy he took alcohol to cope and used experimental drugs recreationally, including psychedelics, ayahuasca, psilocybin, mushrooms. He also stated that what he experienced after his mother's death was very much post-traumatic stress disorder. In his mental health television documentary, The Me You Can't See, which premiered in 2021, he added that he had undergone 4 years of therapy to address his mental health issues, having been encouraged to do so by his future wife after they had started dating. He also mentioned that he had suffered from panic attacks, severe anxiety in his late 20s, and that the heavy load of official visits and functions had eventually led to burnout. In an episode of Armchair Expert, Harry attributed his mental health issues to the ineffective parenting style of previous generations and to the genetic pain and suffering passed down in his family, adding that he believed his issues stemmed from the pain or suffering that perhaps my father or my parents had suffered. In his 2023 memoir, Harry described himself as an agoraphobe. In March 2023, the Heritage Foundation sent a dossier on Harry's drug use to different government entities, asking whether he had admitted to past drug use on his U.S. visa application. The following month, they filed a lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Homeland Security demanding his immigration records. At the age of 21, Harry became a counselor of state and began his duties in that capacity. On the 6th of January 2009, the Queen granted Harry and William their own royal household. Previously, William and Harry's affairs had been handled by their father's office at Clarence House in central London. The new household released a statement announcing they had established their own office at nearby St. James's Palace to look after their public, military and charitable activities. In March 2012, Harry led an official visit to Belize as part of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebration. He continued to the Bahamas and Jamaica, where the Prime Minister, Portia Simpson Miller, was considering initiating a process of turning Jamaica into a republic. He then visited Brazil to attend the Great Campaign. Harry also played tambourine and took part in the music video for the song Sing, which was released in May 2012 to commemorate the Diamond Jubilee. Between 9 and the 15th of May 2013, he made an official visit to the United States. The tour promoted the rehabilitation of injured American and UK troops, publicized his own charities, and supported British interests. It included engagements in Washington, D.C., Colorado, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. He met survivors of Hurricane Sandy in New Jersey. In October 2013, he undertook his first official tour of Australia, attending the International Fleet Review at Sydney Harbour. He also paid a visit to the Australian SAS HQ in Perth. In May 2014, he visited Estonia and Italy. In Estonia, he visited Freedom Square in the capital Tallinn to honor fallen Estonian soldiers. He also attended a reception at the Estonian Parliament and a NATO military exercise. In Italy, Harry attended commemorations of the 70th anniversary of the Monte Cassino battles, in which Polish, Commonwealth, and British troops fought. On the 6th of November 2014, he opened the Field of Remembrance at Westminster Abbey, a task usually performed by Prince Philip. Before reporting for duty to the Australian Defence Force, Harry visited the Australian War Memorial in Canberra on the 6th of April 2015. On the 7th of May 2015, he made a farewell walkabout at the Sydney Opera House and visited Macquarie University Hospital. On the 25th of April 2015, he joined his father in Turkey to attend commemorations of the centenary of the Gallipoli campaign. On the 28th of October 2015, he carried out one day of engagements in the U.S. He launched the Invictus Games Orlando 2016 with First Lady Michelle Obama and Second Lady Jill Biden at Fort Belvoir. He later attended an Invictus Games board meeting and a reception to celebrate the launch at the British ambassador's residence. On the 26th of November 2015, as patron of Centibale, Harry traveled to Lesotho to attend the opening of the Mamohato Children's Center. From the 30th of November to the 3rd of December 2015, he made an official visit to South Africa. He visited Cape Town, where he presented the insignia of the Order of the Companions of Honor to the Archbishop on behalf of the Queen. Harry also played the Centibale Royal Salute Polo Cup at Val de Vai Estate in Cape Town, fundraising for Centibale. He visited Nepal the 23rd of March 2016. He stayed until the end of March 2016 to help rebuild a secondary school with Team Rubicon UK and visited a hydropower project in central Nepal. In April 2018, he was appointed Commonwealth Youth Ambassador, a position which he held until March 2020. Also in that month, Harry became a patron of Walk of America, a campaign which brings together a number of veterans who will take part in a 1,000-mile expedition across the U.S. in mid-2018. The Prince was appointed the president of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, which focuses on projects involving children and welfare of prisoners, in April. Periodically, online QCT chat sessions were conducted and uploaded to YouTube for general public viewing. He remained the charity's president until February 2021. In July 2018, Harry traveled to Dublin, Ireland, alongside his wife Meghan, which marked their first overseas visit as a couple. In October 2018, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex traveled to Sydney for the 2018 Invictus Games. This formed part of a Pacific tour that included Australia, Fiji, Tonga, and New Zealand. Harry identifies as a feminist. During their visit to Morocco in February 2019, the Duke and Duchess focused on projects centered on women's empowerment, girls' education, inclusivity, and encouragement of social entrepreneurship. As part of establishing a separate office from Kensington Palace in 2019, the Duke and Duchess created an Instagram social media account, which broke the record for the fastest account at the time to reach 1 million followers. During his trip to Angola in 2019, the Duke visited the Born Free to Shine project in Luanda, an initiative by First Lady Ana Diaz-Lourenço which aims to prevent HIV transmission from mothers to babies through education, medical testing, and treatment. He also met HIV+ youth and teenagers during his visit. During his visit to the Luang-Luyana National Park, the Duke unveiled an initiative by the Queen's Commonwealth Canopy to help with protecting an ancient elephant migration route by providing safe passage for them in the forest. In September and October 2019, a Southern African tour included Malawi, Angola, South Africa, and Botswana. Because infant son Archie traveled with the Sussex, this was their first official tour as a family. Harry completed 1,190 engagements between 2006 and 2019. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring the world's incredible stories. I stop at this point today. I hope I added something to you. Soon we will publish Part 3. Thank you for watching.